What a save by LaRocco, but now Jeremy's around him.
And that's Michael Craig in 4th place,
and
number 17.
Wait till Emick glances over his shoulder and doesn't see that number 8 anymore. That's going to make him nervous.
That is going to be the key right here. Can Emick, with Jeremy McGrath behind him, hold on to the lead? He has lost the lead 3 times this year.
I'm sure he can hear the crowd. Whenever you're in the lead and something's going on behind you and the crowd gets into it like that, now you get a little tight.
Boy, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. Jeff Emick, Jeremy McGrath, Mike LaRocco, and Michael Craig.
Here's the replay. LaRocco just tries to get in there, and Emick won't leave him any room. LaRocco kind of does a trick ride hanging off the side of the bike. Good job to save it. He's still in the hunt. He can still win this.
And we're down to a 1-minute lap time with this infighting.
Well, the pace is slowed considerably because there's so much strategy and blocking, and because of the ruts, these guys are making more mistakes. They're not getting cleanly over all the jumps consistently, but I don't think the lap times really matter right now. It's just positioning.
Breezing by the lappers, Cliff Palmer, Jeremy McGrath right on the tail of Jeff Emick.
Now look at this, McGrath all the way on the inside.
They pass up Todd DeHoop. We're going to have a great battle here as Jeremy McGrath almost took off himself. And Mike LaRocco picking up on McGrath.
It's the most mistakes I've ever seen McGrath make, but you know what? If he wins the race, who cares? You know, it's a difficult track, and you can see how deep these ruts are getting. You can't expect to not make any mistakes. Watch McGrath right here. He gets cross-rutted a little bit. Nice body English to keep that on the track. That's where Lawrence went off right there and hit that hay bale. So a little bit better balance perhaps by Jeremy.
Jeremy's been able to pick up some time here with the whoops. Let's see if he can get close to Emick once again as LaRocco's right behind him.
And now Jeremy has learned. You see him riding the inside down through that whoop section because he knows LaRocco's on his tail. He doesn't want LaRocco to get around. He also feels like if he's close enough, he can get around Emick the same as LaRocco was trying to do.
Oh, this is the battle we've been calling for all year. Emick out in front with Jeremy McGrath in second, and LaRocco cased one, but he's still up in third. There's the top 5 on our Suzuki Field summary.
Emick has just been like a machine so far. He hasn't missed any of his lines. He's got the same lines. His lap times have slowed just a little bit, but so have everyone else's.
5 laps to go. Jeremy looks like he wants to make a move.
Every time Jeremy gets really close, Emick does something good, hits a good line, gets a good burst of power, and pulls it open again.
LaRocco's now 2 seconds behind McGrath in third with Michael Craig in fourth. Here's our Honda stopwatch. Let's check the intervals. 1.8.
Pretty close between the top 5 guys. 5 seconds back to Mike Craig, who's ridden a fantastic race catching these riders from further back. He has a shot at the podium if he can get around LaRocco. But McGrath, I noticed, Art, was pulling a tearaway on that triple jump the last lap. I got to wonder how many of those he's got left because he's been eating a lot of roost this whole race.
This late in the race, he's never been out of the lead.
Well, this is history right here.
As far as the year is concerned, Jeremy McGrath battling. You see the space, the interval right there as they approach another lapper, which is Doug Henry. Doug Henry clears out of the way as Emick will go wide.
Now Jeremy sort of picked up on that line that LaRocco was doing, getting over that little whoop-de-doo step-up section.
Former teammates battling it out now. McGrath going by Doug Henry.
McGrath had a good run through the whoops that time and closed it in a little bit. They still got more lapped riders to contend with. That could be the story right there. Rich Taylor looks like he's going to stay out of the way.
Wise move by Taylor to let these guys battle it out. But Henry now is in front of LaRocco.
Look how close Jeremy is, and Emick moves right over to the inside.
Could this be the evening that Emick holds on to it all?
The ruts are starting to take their toll on Jeff
White
Emick.
flag lap. 1 lap to go. Can Emick do it?
He's got a good, comfortable lead right now. Unless Jeremy can stay closer than this, Emick's got the composure to hold on to it.
Emick is 1 win in Supercross history. Was Las Vegas. McGrath was not in the field.
Jeremy just had lost a little bit of time, but he jumped that section that LaRocco was doing, made it back up. Watch him through the whoops up the inside.
Emick doing a good job. through the whoops.
I think the key might be that final corner where Jeremy got around Lawrence for the heat race.
I'll tell you, the fans are all out of their seats with good reason. Emig leading Jeremy McGrath in the final lap. Here's the second to the last turn. Emig, flawless. McGrath is not close enough to make a move on the final turn. It is Jeff Emig.
I don't believe it, Art. I don't think Emig does either. He jumped about 10 feet past the landing of that finish line jump, hands in the air.
His first legitimate Supercross win, I think, in his heart, because Jeremy McGrath was not in the field in Las Vegas. And where do you do it? You do it on what is the closest thing to your home track, with over 300 fans up from Kansas City to see this. We'll be back in a moment. AMA Supercross on ESPN2 has been brought to you by Honda Motorcycles and ATVs. Get to your dealer now for the lowest deals of the year. And by Suzuki. Right now, your Suzuki dealer has the ride you've been waiting for and the financing to get it. Jeff Emig, number 2 in front of Jeremy McGrath. The streak is broken. 13 consecutive Supercross victories for Jeremy McGrath, a record that should stand for some time, David Bailey, as Jeff Emig across the finish line. Our round 14, here's how they finished. Emig, McGrath, Mike LaRocco, Craig, and Lawrence. Let's go down to Marty.
For the first time in 14 races this season, we're going to talk to somebody else first. Jeff Emig, congratulations. The streak is broken. What a great ride.
Well, you know, I knew that there was going to be a lot of guys going fast tonight. I didn't feel that I was, exactly the fastest. Especially when you're out front, you kind of get a little, like a little soggy, I think. But, LaRocco and Jeremy, they gave me a good race. And I'm sure that it was exciting for the fans here in St. Louis.
That 56-second lap in the heat race was an indicator, though. I mean, you got a great start. And, yes, the time slowed down as the race progressed because of the ruts, but you were able to stay consistent.
Yeah, that was the whole name of the game. We talked about it, and we went to figure out how come we weren't winning. And we figured out, that we needed to focus on us and at the end of the race. And, so I tried to keep in my head, and I just tried riding a great race. With Kawasaki and Bridgestone, they put together a package that's just awesome. I've been getting those whole shots, and that's all important on a track like this.
Okay, Jeff, congratulations. Still one more race for him. I'll tell you what, you came up and said, I'm sorry. You have nothing to apologize for.
Well, the track itself landed for a great race. I mean, there wasn't much passing out there. The track was rutted, and, Jeff rode a great race. I can't take anything away from him. I think LaRocco may have blew my momentum a little bit towards the end when I passed for second. He kind of slammed me real hard, and I thought I had enough room to where he wasn't going to do that, but apparently not.
Well, it just means now you got to start it all over again at Denver.
Yeah, I mean, what's that saying? You can't win them all?
Well, I'll tell you what, 13 in a row, guys. It may be a mark that in our lifetimes will never be equaled, and he's still king of the hill and wearing that #1 plate.
That's right, Marty. The unofficial points, McGrath still on top, of course, has won the crown. But Emig jumps into second place, and the big jump by Mike LaRocco as he had a fine performance here and moves up the points change. Art Ekman, David Bailey, and Marty Reed saying thank you so much for being with us on this historic evening of Supercross, the very first Supercross in St. Louis in this wonderful Transamerica Dome. Your final thoughts, David Bailey?
Well, it's pretty unbelievable for Jeff Emig, his first real Supercross win. Vegas, a lot of guys weren't there. And to do it in this fashion in front of his hometown at one time, all of his friends here, beating Jeremy, ending that streak, it's got to feel good, and I got to wonder what that's going to do to him in the future.
Round 15, the final Supercross of the year, comes up next from Denver, Colorado, and we hope to see you at Mile High Stadium. Right now, you think he's going to get a bit of sleep tonight?
No. Neither will Jeremy.
Jeff Emig has broken the string with his second Supercross victory of his career. Thank you, everyone, for being with us. Good night, everyone.